pro-choice coverage of this debate. We're gathered here today to ask that the media cover this side of the story fairly, with balance and with truth. And we're here not just to report the facts, but as moms and dads who are doing this out of love for the millions of unborn babies who haven't seen the day of light and who never will. Thanks.
Stunned earlier this week when the owners of the Washington Post announced they were selling this once great newspaper due to financial losses. They, like so many other failing newspapers, cable news channels, and news networks, will blame everything and everyone else for their demise, except for the fact that they cover the news in such a biased fashion and people are on to them. When pro-life liberal Kirsten Powers called out the media on their lack of coverage of Gosnell, we saw some introspection and mea culpas. For instance, Mark Lamont Hill wrote, who's a liberal talking head, "For what it's worth, I do think that those of us on the left have made a decision not to cover this trial because we worry it'll compromise abortion rights. I do think that there's a direct connection between the media's failure to cover this and our own political commitment on the left."
You know that at 2 months of pregnancy, with every week that goes by, the mortality rate, the mortality risk from abortion increases by 38%. Did you know that at 5 months pregnant, that 20 weeks that has become so high profile here, that Wendy Davis thinks it's so outrageous that we would ban abortion at that point, you are 35 times more likely to die from an abortion at 20 weeks than you would in the first trimester, and yet Wendy Davis doesn't think that's relevant to talk about on the floor of the Texas Senate. At 21 weeks, 5 months, just briefly into your 5th month of pregnancy, you are 91 times more likely to die from an abortion. Ladies and gentlemen, American women deserve to know the truth, and we today here are calling attention to the fact that the real war on women is the silence of the media and the censoring of the data. Women deserve to know the truth about abortion and the data that proves that abortion harms women. Thank you, Lila, so much for organizing this today.
Quick note. Awesome to be here. My name is Ryan Bomberg. I'm the Chief Creative Officer of the Radiance Foundation. And I'm just honored to be here with Live Action and all these other incredible individuals who fight passionately for the human rights issue of our day. So it's great to be here in the March on the media rally. It's actually sad commentary on where we are today in American society, that we have to hold an event asking the media to, well, do what it's supposed to do. So let me give you a little understanding of my particular bias in this. I'm the 1% that the media and the abortion industry use all the time to justify 100% of all abortions. My biological mother was raped, and that's how I came into this world. And what abortion tells women is that you're not strong enough to overcome any circumstance. I thank my biological mother for the courage and the strength, and for a singular decision that continues to have reverberations every single day. I'm an adoptee and adoptive father. I have 4 children, 2 of which are adopted. So a little while ago, a few years ago, I created a campaign called TooManyAborted.com to illuminate the disproportionate impact of abortion in the black community, where black babies are aborted up to 6 times more than babies in the majority population. Of course, abortion, no matter the race, is a tragedy. But we launched this initiative. So I know a little bit about media bias. I have endured for years absurd distortions and omissions from mainstream media. But despite the fact that in cities across the country, more black babies are aborted than are born alive. Case in point, New York City. For every 1,000 black babies that are born, 1,488 are aborted. But yet, what do we hear from mainstream media? From ABC, from NBC, from CBS? We hear nothing but silence. One of my lifelong heroes is former slave, famed abolitionist, writer, and phenomenal public speaker, Frederick Douglass, who, by the way, was also born as a result of rape. Frederick Douglass not only reshaped the conscience of President Lincoln, but he also helped to inform the public about the injustice of slavery. In fact, he had to launch a newspaper called the North Star